Welcome to Earn Smart, the channel where we break down money, mindset, and modern income strategies so you can build a smarter future. And in today's video, we're starting with part 1, the new route explained. Because before you chase $10,000 a month in 2026, you need to completely understand that the rules of money have changed, and the old route most people are still following is broken. For years, we were told that success comes from working harder, getting more degrees, waiting for promotions, or slowly climbing a ladder that someone else controls. But in today's world, the path is not just slow. It's risky because technology, AI, automation, and global competition are replacing effort-based income faster than ever. And the people who will win in 2026 are not the busiest ones. They are the smartest ones who understand leverage. The new route is not about doing more hours. It's about making each hour multiply. And that starts with a mindset shift where you stop thinking like an employee trading time for money and start thinking like a problem solver who builds value. Because money follows value, not effort. In this new route, skills are more powerful than degrees. Systems are more powerful than motivation, and ownership is more powerful than salary. Which means instead of asking, how can I work more? You start asking, how can I build something once and get paid repeatedly? And that is the foundation of earning smart. Another key part of the new route is speed. Because information is everywhere now, but speed of execution is rare. And the people who move fast, test fast, and adapt fast will always outpace those who wait to feel ready. In 2026, the winners will be people who learn just enough to start, apply immediately, and refine along the way instead of consuming endlessly without action. The new route also demands focus because distractions are the silent killers of modern income, and scrolling, comparing, and chasing shortcuts keep most people stuck, while those who choose one clear direction, one skill, and one income goal build momentum that compounds. This route is not easy, but it is simple. Learn skills that solve real problems. Apply them in the real world. Package the results into value, and scale using tools and systems. And the reason most people never reach $10,000 a month is not lack of intelligence. It's lack of clarity and consistency. The new route requires you to accept that uncertainty is normal, that mistakes are part of the process, and that progress beats perfection every single time. In 2026, opportunities will not announce themselves loudly. They will reward those who are prepared, adaptable, and already in motion, which is why Earn Smart exists, to help you see the path clearly before it becomes obvious to everyone else. This part is about opening your eyes to reality, because once you understand the new route, everything else becomes easier to execute. And if you truly get this foundation right, $10,000 a month stops sounding like a dream and starts. Welcome back to Earn Smart. And now that you understand the NEW route and why the old way of chasing money no longer works, we move directly into part 2, consume. Because every smart income journey begins with what you allow into your mind. And in 2026, information will be everywhere, but wisdom will be rare. Consuming does not mean scrolling endlessly, watching random videos, or collecting motivation without direction. Real consumption is intentional, selective, and strategic. And this is where most people fail before they even begin, because they confuse being busy with being prepared. The smartest earners don't consume more content, they consume better content, and they do it with a clear filter. Does this help me build a skill, solve a problem, or move closer to income? And if the answer is no, it's noise. In this new route, consumption is not entertainment, it is training. And just like an athlete doesn't eat junk before a competition, You cannot feed your mind with distractions and expect financial clarity. The goal of consuming is not to know everything, it is to know enough to take the next step. Because action creates clarity, not the other way around. In 2026, the people who earn $10,000 a month are not the ones who watch the most videos. They are the ones who picked one skill, one mentor, one framework, and went deep instead of wide. Depth beats breadth every time, because deep understanding leads to confidence, and confidence leads to execution. Consuming smart also means learning from people who are actually doing what you want to do, not from theory-only voices, not from fake success stories, but from real-world practitioners who show processes, mistakes, and results. This is why curation matters, because your inputs shape your outputs, your mindset, habits, and income level will always reflect what you consistently consume. Another critical part of this step is speed to application, because the longer you wait after learning something, the weaker it becomes, and knowledge decays quickly if it is not used. Smart consumption always ends with one question: how can I apply this today, even in a small way? It could be sending one message, testing one idea, posting one piece of content, or practicing one skill, because momentum is built through movement, not planning. In an earn smart philosophy, consuming without applying is a trap, and the internet is full of highly informed but financially stuck people who know a lot but execute little. You don't need more information, you need better filters, stronger focus, and faster action. This step is about replacing passive consumption with active learning, where you take notes, pause content, reflect, and immediately connect ideas to real-life use, because that is how learning turns into leverage. In 2026, AI, tools, and platforms will reward those who can learn fast and adapt faster. And smart consumption is the skill that makes all other skills easier to acquire. Once you master this step, you stop feeling overwhelmed, you stop chasing every new trend, and you start feeling in control, because you know exactly what to learn next and why. This is how clarity is built. This is how confidence grows. And this is how the foundation for real income is laid, not by consuming everything, but by consuming what matters. Welcome back to Earn Smart. And now that you know how to consume information with purpose instead of drowning in noise, we move into part 3, apply. Because this is the step where most people fail and where real money finally begins. And the truth is simple, but uncomfortable. Information does not change lives, action does. You can watch every video, read every book, and understand every strategy. But until you apply what you know in the real world, nothing moves. And in 2026, the gap between people who apply and people who hesitate will be wider than ever. Applying means taking imperfect action before you feel ready. Because readiness is a myth created by fear. And the smartest earners understand that clarity comes after action, not before it. When you apply, you turn theory into experience. And experience compounds faster than knowledge ever will. This step is about doing small, uncomfortable actions daily. Sending the message, posting the content, offering the service, testing the idea, even when your confidence is low. Because confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself, not by waiting for motivation. In the new route, speed matters more than perfection. Because the market rewards those who move first and adjust later, and every time you apply, you shorten the distance between where you are and where you want to be. Applying also creates feedback, and feedback is the fastest teacher. Because the real world will tell you what works and what doesn't much faster than any course or tutorial. This is why Earn Smart emphasizes execution, because income is not a result of intelligence. It is a result of consistent action in the right direction. Many people stay stuck because they try to apply everything at once. But smart application is focused. You pick one idea, one skill, one action, and repeat it until you see results. Then you refine. And this repetition is what builds momentum. Applying also rewires your identity, because every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. And when you repeatedly act like someone who builds income, you slowly become that person. Mistakes will happen, and that is not failure. That is data, because every mistake removes confusion and sharpens your direction. In 2026, those earning $10,000 a month are not smarter than everyone else. They simply applied sooner, failed faster, and adjusted quicker, while others stayed stuck in planning mode. This step demands courage because action exposes you to judgment, rejection, and discomfort. But it also opens the door to growth, opportunity, and income. Applying turns learning into leverage and leverage into results. And once you experience even a small win, your belief system shifts, because proof is more powerful than motivation. This is where things become real, where theory turns into income potential, and where the earn smart mindset separates dreamers from doers. Because the future does not belong to those who know, it belongs to those who act. Welcome back to Earn Smart. And after consuming with intention and applying with courage, we now arrive at part 4, educate, the step where effort turns into authority and authority turns into opportunity. Because in the modern world, the fastest way to grow is not just to learn and apply, but to teach what you are practicing in real time. Education in this context does not mean classrooms, certificates, or pretending to be an expert. It means sharing your journey, your process, your lessons, and your results honestly. Because people don't connect with perfection, they connect with progress. In 2026, trust will be the most valuable currency. And teaching is how trust is built, because when you educate, you position yourself as a guide instead of a follower. And even being one step ahead of someone else is enough to create value. The Earn Smart philosophy is simple here. Document, don't pretend, because you don't need years of experience to teach. You only need clarity and consistency, and when you explain concepts in simple language, you deepen your own understanding while helping others move forward. Educating also creates leverage, because one piece of content, one explanation, or one tutorial can reach hundreds or thousands of people without additional effort. And this is how visibility turns into inbound opportunities. When you educate, you attract clients, collaborations, and credibility, because people naturally want to learn from those who can simplify complexity. This step also accelerates mastery because teaching forces you to organize your thoughts, identify gaps in your knowledge, and improve faster than silent learning ever could. Many people fear this step because they worry about judgment or being not good enough. But in reality, those who wait to be perfect never get seen, while those who start teaching early build momentum and confidence over time. In 2026, platforms will reward educators, storytellers, and problem solvers more than silent consumers. And those who share value consistently will stand out in a noisy world. Educating can take many forms: short videos, posts, tutorials, threads, case studies, or even conversations, and the format matters less than the consistency and clarity of the message. When you teach what you apply, you create a feedback loop where learning, action, and authority reinforce each other, and this loop is powerful enough to create income, influence, and long-term growth. Education also shifts your identity because the moment you start helping others, you stop seeing yourself as behind and start seeing yourself as useful. And usefulness is the foundation of earning smart. This step is where your voice begins to matter, where your ideas gain weight, and where people start paying attention, Because in the digital economy, attention follows value, and value follows clarity. This is not about becoming famous. It's about becoming trusted. And trust is what converts views into income. Once you embrace education, you are no longer just building skills. You are building a brand, and that brand compounds over time. Welcome back to Earn Smart, and now that you are consuming with purpose, applying with speed, and educating with clarity, we move into part 5, Systemize and Scale, because this is the point where income stops depending entirely on your daily effort and starts growing beyond you. Systemizing means turning what works into repeatable processes, because if something only works when you are fully present, it is not a business, it is a job. And the smartest earners in 2026 understand that freedom comes from systems, not hustle. This step is about identifying what actions bring results, and then designing simple workflows around them, whether that is content creation, client onboarding, service delivery, or lead generation. Because systems remove decision fatigue and save time. When you systemize, you stop reinventing the wheel every day and start building momentum. And momentum is what allows growth without burnout. Scaling comes after clarity, not before it. Because trying to grow something messy only multiplies stress. But when a system is clean, scaling becomes natural. This is where tools, automation, and delegation enter the picture. Not to replace you, but to multiply you. And in 2026, AI and smart tools will be the greatest leverage available to those who know how to use them. Scaling also requires a mindset shift, where you stop asking, how can I do everything myself, and start asking, what should only I do? Because your time becomes more valuable as your income grows. The Earn Smart approach to scaling is intentional and sustainable, focusing on long-term consistency instead of short-term spikes. Because real wealth is built quietly through systems that work even on days you are tired. When you systemize and scale, income becomes predictable, growth becomes measurable, and stress begins to decrease. And this is the stage where $10,000 a month stops being an aggressive goal and starts becoming a natural result of structured effort. Start now, because all the knowledge, systems, and strategies in the world mean nothing if you delay. And the truth is that timing beats talent more often than people admit. Starting now does not mean having everything figured out. It means choosing progress over comfort. Because the people who will win in 2026 are already in motion today. Waiting feels safe, but it is actually the riskiest choice. Because the market rewards those who act early, learn publicly, and adapt quickly. Starting now builds experience, and experience compounds faster than motivation ever will. This step is about committing to one direction, one skill, and one daily action, instead of overwhelming yourself with endless plans. When you start now, you give yourself the gift of time to fail, time to adjust, and time to grow, and that is something money cannot buy. The Earn Smart mindset here is simple. A perfect action today is more powerful than perfect planning tomorrow, because momentum is created by movement, not intention. Starting now also builds belief, because every small step proves to your brain that change is possible, and belief fuels consistency. In 2026, the gap between those who started early and those who waited will be impossible to ignore. Not because the early starters were smarter, but because they showed up repeatedly. This final step is a call to action, not motivation, because motivation fades. But decisions shape destiny, and once you decide to start, everything else becomes learnable. The journey to $10,000 a month is not magical. It is mathematical, built on daily actions repeated over time. And the only real difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the moment they chose to begin.